Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. Grab a drink, sit back, and relax.
We back.
What's up, everybody? Back
Video!
at it with the video. Look, I came on Instagram. I told the people, Justin, I said, look, we got this board. We're doing video.
Yes.
We've wanted to do this for a really long time.
Thanks to Kill Key's investment into the show of $10,000
And Platco painting.
and Placo painting.
It was a bumpy road, to say the least.
Yeah, there's been some technical difficulties dialing everything in.
Yeah. A lot went into this that we'll probably have to make a video on like our setup and how
More
we're
than
doing
we
this.
expected.
Yeah, so
Shout out to Miguel for the help.
oh yeah, Miguel Fitty _ Miggy Fitty or Fitty. Dang it, I'm gonna have to look. Anyway, Miguel came over late last night, so we bought the board. This is a Zoom L8, which I talked about us together.
And the Instagram vid.
Instagram, yeah, you were with me in spirit. Talked about it on the Instagram video that we put out, right? So that video was just saying that we got a board. Like we wanted to do this not from the beginning, but I want to say
close.
like
Pretty close to the beginning.
pretty much like 3 episodes into the Mandalorian, we were like, okay, we need video. Like most podcasts are done via video, and YouTube is like a huge audience. There are people who specifically listen to YouTube.
Yeah, there's a lot of people at work that just throw a YouTube video playing, minimize the screen, and that's where they're listening.
Yeah.
Which we want to be able to shout out to those listeners.
Yeah. And guys, I am pulling up.
Shout out way too much.
Shout out. Hey, this is like our first episode. Shout out.
It's like a new episode. I'm nervous.
Shout out. Guys, so right now we've got the webcam right here, which we're going to find a way to like wide zoom that so that we can see the whole room. We're going to streamline some stuff in the studio office space. We're running this through OBS, and we are running 2 cameras, 2 face cams, and we have the ability for obviously that one, which can be moved. So basically when we have 4 guests, 2 guests, whatever the case may be, we can have up to 8 people now on the podcast at a time.
It's called Party Podcast.
Party podcast. Ideally, we'll probably still stick it to 4, maybe 5.
Yeah,
We've had 5 before.
We got some big ones lined up in the next week. Actually, we're probably going to record with some big groups.
Guys, we are talking about Season 2 Mandalorian trailer.
Gosh.
Posted the breakdown that I did on Instagram, put it on the Facebook,
Dropped
Twitter.
pretty much right after we recorded. The trailer dropped the next day.
Yeah, literally. We put like predictions hype. The Entertainment Weekly stuff came out. We talked about it, and then
Trailer dropped, and we're like, oh my God, we have to record now.
yeah, like we have to do something. And then I was on vacation. Anniversary vacation, and it just didn't happen. So now we're doing it now. We're going to talk about the trailer. But I'm your boy. It's KonKon. And as you can see, sitting across from me, the PR man, the man of 1,000 names.
Owner of Justina's Cantina.
Listen. I should like put out that like mic check thing that we did last night where I was like, this is not Justina's Cantina. All right, guys. Housekeeping, of course. Facebook.com / KonKon's Cantina, Instagram / or at KonKon's Cantina. If you would like to work with us and this podcast, please email us at KonKon's Cantina at Facebook. Wow, I'm butchering this. Email us at KonKon'sCantina@gmail.com. Facebook group. Guys, you're holding it down. We're doing this for you. Okay, if you want to come on the podcast, we do have some episodes lined up, like some ideas. We need to put that out there, Justin, to see if like specific people are like, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I want to do this.
Things that register with something they're specifically into.
I'm not going to tell the people who yet, but somebody specifically reached out to me and said, you guys were making some 3 Amigos episode or some 3 Amigos references.
Look up here.
That we need to do a 3 Amigos episode. 10,000%. We have to
yes.
do a 3 Amigos episode. Discord.
Yes, Hefe.
We have a Discord now. Please DM us. We do not want to make it open invite simply because there can be an influx of crazy people.
Yes, it's super elite.
Yeah, super elite. You pretty much have to pay $1,000. No, send us a DM. We'll send you an invite. Also, please rate this podcast. It truly does help the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. 5-star rating. If there's something that you don't like that you're not enjoying, please, let us know. That is the point. That is the community that we want to build, that we want to do that. Spoiler warning for all things Star Wars, including Mandalorian Season 1 and any of our predictions that, of course, we're going to tell you are true for Season 2.
And some new, what's that guy's name? Badcock? No, Doomcock. Doomcock rumors that are pretty serious.
Badcock.
Yeah,
it's Badcock now.
That's a furniture store.
Yeah, that's a furniture store.
And so much more.
The agenda for this episode, we are going to be talking about the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer. We'll be talking about the trailer and our thoughts about the new visual parts that we have. Lots of news to go and talk about. But before we do that, we are a Cantina podcast. So we're going to go into the Cantina right now.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. What are you having? But remember, no droids.
I feel like Ricky Bobby. I'm like,
I don't know what to do with my hands.
What do I do with my hands? Visual podcast now. So listen, visual Patreons. I am drinking...
Oh, yeah. Shout out to our Patreon, which is now up and running if you want to support the show in a very small way.
Yes, very small way. Patreon. I didn't shout out to Twitter, too. I've been super active on Twitter. All the breaking news stuff I've been hashtagging, getting very little traction, but still, we there.
Tens of likes.
Fives of likes. Right now, I am drinking Single Barrel 1792. Very short and sweet. I don't think... This is definitely not my favorite. So I'll just put that out there right now. Really, really earthy. It is a single barrel, so I don't know what it would have been like not single barrel, like regular 1792. I've actually never had. On a Mando scale, for me, it's a 5 out of 10. It's super middle of the road.
Do you like their foolproof?
I do believe I've had it once, and I did like it better than that one. That one is very earthy. I can see how some people could think it tastes oaky.
Yeah, kind of nutty. I've always thought
nutmeg,
a little nut flavor,
which I usually like. The other bourbon that I like that in so much is that
Jefferson's is normally a really nutty one also.
Wilson's anyway.
Willet,
thank you.
Okay.
Willet usually has a very nutmeg but for bourbons, for me, I want high proof and I want like a nice caramel, to go with it.
Yeah.
And this one to me has just, if I'm looking for like 10 flavor notes, this one has 3.
Okay.
So it's not bad, and it's not bad for the price. So middle of the road, 5 out of 10 Mandos.
What's that run? What's the single barrel 1792 run?
Retail should be $36.99 to $40 Yeah, it's not bad at all. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a E.H. Taylor small batch, bottled in bond. Mm-hmm. This was acquired by Connor himself.
Show the camera. Put it up a little bit. I'll tell you when they are right there. There you go. Yep, they can see it good.
Okay.
Yep.
It is really good. It's right up my alley.
Yeah, you're digging it?
Yeah. The color is a nice buttery or butterscotchy looking color.
Yeah.
I would say it's like a nice dark. It has a really good soft mouthfeel. It's I said butterscotch. It might be because I'm tasting butterscotch. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a caramel, whichever way you want to say that word. Butterscotch flavor up front. And then when it finishes, it's got a nice, maybe call it like a spicy, peppery kind of a finish at the end of it.
Black pepper on the back end for sure. I think that's one thing I personally don't like.
See, I like it at the finish. I don't like that if that's what you're tasting up front and the predominant flavor, but when you finish and you swallow and you get a little bit of that spicy or more peppery flavor left over at the end on the back of your tongue. Yeah. I really like that. I'm going to see. I am not aware. I should have looked in advance what the proof was on this stuff. Here we go. 100 proof. So that's definitely better than your normal 94 range of something that's not like a full proof.
Yeah, it's decent for sure.
I think I would give this Mando score. Let's do a 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. Above middle of the road.
Yeah.
I'd go for a 7 too. The rarity to the price also is good.
Yeah, it's a $60 bottle, I think you said.
For retail, yeah.
If you can find it retail.
Yeah, a lot of people overcharge for it. I even $60. Well, I guess $60 pretty respectable. The tin it comes in is pretty nice too. But let's get into this trailer breakdown. Now, I gave a visual kind of snippet I put together on collage.
Yes.
Some of the key points that I thought were
Some
to take away.
you have snagged that you don't think anybody else might have caught yet, or at least at that time.
Yeah. So right now, guys, I'm gonna play the audio to the trailer. So we're gonna start the trailer. If you wanna watch it along with us, go ahead and pull it up. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that. After we listen to it, we're going to go into just some questions that we have written down about the trailer. I'll talk about the specific things that I brought out that I feel that are important. And then we are going to wrap this first visual episode up with some Star Wars news. Well, not just Star Wars, but a lot of news. Our first news that we've had in a while.
Let's before we jump into the Star Wars, I want to hear about your trip.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about the trip.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to hear that.
So the trailer, if you have it up, we're going to start it in 3, 2, play. Yeah, I get goosebumps every time in the intro.
Are we muted?
No.
Oh, okay.
Show me the one
Didgeridoo.
safety deemed such destruction. You must reunite it with its own kind.
Where?
This you must determine. The songs of eons past tell of battles between Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi.
Sasha Banks.
You expect me to search the galaxy and deliver this creature to a race of enemy sorcerers?
It's not Ahsoka.
This is the way.
You know this is no place for a child. Wherever I go, he goes. So I've heard.
Best part of the trailer.
This is the way.
All right.
Sorry,
I
had to
swear.
finish it for you since you faded it out.
I did fade it out. I swear you hear the child go when he closes the egg.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring this up right now because I wanted to bring this up like in episode 1, but I'm going to bring it up now anyway. Because
Episode 1 of the show?
of season 2.
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to bring this up in the first episode. Rewatching, we both started rewatching Mandalorian season 1 because we wanted to do a season 1 recap. Even though we've already done one, we wanted to do a year from now.
Yeah.
So
a
this
year
is-
later, where's it sitting?
Yeah, so this is probably going to be an episode the week before the first Monday of November, which is when the episode that airs on the 30th will be aired for us. So 11/2/20 will be the first episode of Mandalorian season 2 for this podcast. Before that, we will do another season 1, where are we a year later type thing.
Right.
Quill dying
Make some predictions, possibly.
is like,
Some prop bets.
it affected me when Quill died then. In rewatching the season 1, it affected me even more so.
Knowing that he's going to die at the end of it. And,
Yeah. And one thing that, like, I don't know why I never put 2 and 2 together until, like, I saw this trailer. When Quill is picked up by Mando and they're flying back to Navarro to do the little deal with, you know, faking giving Baby Yoda and all that stuff, he instructs Quill to create Baby Yoda a new basket. While they're flying to Navarro, the basket that is shaped like an egg and opens up and closes and is, you know, still Bluetooth and all that, that's made by Quill. There's a
never
whole
caught
scene.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's welding it together because remember him and Kara have the argument where she's like, you know, at least I never worked for the Empire essentially, and he's like, there's a difference between working for the Empire and who I'm a slave to.
Right,
You know,
right,
I
yeah.
paid off my debt with my own hands.
So at that same time, he's actually building the
Yes.
open close basket.
Yeah, so there's
I like
a
it.
scene where he builds it. So it's like even though Quill's gone, there's still this part of Quill that's going to continue through season 2 as long as Baby Yoda and Mando have that basket. Just something I had to point out.
Yeah. Well,
I just really like that.
That by far for me was the best part of the entire trailer was that snaps it closed and then you hear you hear all the fighting sound effects going on in the background. That was the best part.
So where were you when the trailer dropped? We kind of talked about this because for me my story's kind of funny about like where I was when the trailer dropped.
Man, where was I? I don't remember where I was specifically. I think
you
I was
were
at
working?
home. No, that's right. No, I was working because I remember.
I was like, it's like 10:30 in the morning. I hope you were working.
Yeah, no, I couldn't remember, but now I do because I could only watch it on my phone, and it was daylight outside.
Oh, and you couldn't see anything?
And I couldn't see, like, when it cut to, like, the sorcerers, and then it flashes to Sasha Banks, who we know now.
Yeah.
And I was like, is it Ahsoka? I can't tell. It's so shaded. It's
Dude,
so dark. I can't tell. Is that her?
So I was in the middle of an apple field in North Carolina, and Russell texts the group text, and he's like, the trailer dropped. And we were at the point where we were like, okay, well, apparently we're just going to get the trailer like the week before it comes out because it should have come out long ago and it hadn't.
Would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I was. Kind of funny. Same thing, super daylight. Saw Sasha Banks. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Ahsoka.
Yeah, no, I remember in our text conversation, you were like confident it was
Dude, she even
Ahsoka.
looked orange, but it had to have been just the lighting.
Bad
was,
light, yeah.
It was horrible. How many Mandos out of 10 would love that trailer?
I think that's a 10 out of a 10 for a trailer. That got me more hyped than any trailer that I can think of in recent history over the last couple of years.
Mulan got me pretty hyped.
It got me hyped, but not that level of hype.
Yeah,
at all.
This trailer, I don't know how. By chance, did you watch season 1's trailer?
No, I've never rewatched that.
So I rewatched it, and it's crazy. If you think of movies over the past, even the prequels, the sequels, when I think of like Rise of Skywalker, what happens at the end of that trailer? You hear Ian McDiarmid laughing.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
It gives away
Emperor, yeah.
Emperor, right? And then even at Star Wars Celebration, he walked out, roll it again, right? Like they give away this huge thing that, like, yeah, of course we were hyped, and then we're like, oh my God, we're already at that oh my God level, and nothing has been revealed in this trailer.
Yeah, there was no like ruined moments.
We literally screamed in episode 1 in my living room when the casket opened in season 1, episode 1, and Baby Yoda came out. We had no idea.
No, I've never seen a show keep something under wraps that big so well. Like, no glimmer of a rumor on the
nothing.
entire internet whatsoever.
And there's no way that they don't do this for the same thing. So we already said it. I think both of us, we can move past this part quickly. The coolest part of the trailer for us, also funniest part of the trailer,
Personality from Baby Yoda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another
I
thing,
guess we should call him the child.
the child, yes. Another thing that I really liked was I really liked what the ocean planet, the boat. We've never really we've had a submarine type thing.
We've never seen boat like surface of the water boats. Like,
yeah, I mean that's
all.
literally like a boat.
Yeah,
yeah, like in like a fishing boat
felt
or
very
like a
Pirates of the Caribbean, like
yes,
you're
big
in like
open
old
sea
fishing swashbuckler
Yep.
village of all those boats and seaworthy. I'm hoping like Mon Calamarians or something are like what is controlling them.
Exactly. So let's just get into the breakdown that I put out on Facebook real quick. So if you haven't looked, go look on Facebook. It's actually listed on all of our on the actual page itself. You'll see these pictures. So we'll just start with Sasha Banks because she's one of the first things that we see during this time.
Did you know who she was before this?
Yeah, the wrestler.
You do? Like I've never been into a wrestling anything.
Yeah.
So I had no idea who she was. I had to like look up and see who she was.
I didn't know who she was because of wrestling. I knew who she was because it had already been released that she was going to be in The Mandalorian. And because she was confirmed in Mandalorian, it was like, oh, she's a wrestler. Here's her profile. Which this is really cool for me with Sasha Banks because if you think of Gina Carano being an MMA fighter and bringing that
physicality and training and I mean, a WWE star
Exactly.
is already basically
A stunt actor.
trained stunt actor. Yeah.
Exactly. The level of what she can do and how she can do things is going to bring... She could be a Jedi. She could be a bounty hunter. She could be another Mandalorian. I sincerely hope she's not Sabine Wren because just nothing about her appearance matches, like,
Not
at
doesn't
all.
seem right to me.
No.
I mean,
I
she-
really hope, I sincerely hope that if Sabine does show up in any live form in Star Wars, it is played by an Asian actress.
It has to be.
Has to be.
I mean, to do the fan service of Clone Wars, or of Rebels, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, because when you meet Sabine's family, they're all like, Sabine's questionable what her ethnicity is.
I
But
don't think so.
I think to me, maybe just because of the colored hair kind of throws me off a little bit. But when you see her family and you see her mom and her brother when they go back to Mandalore, it's cut and dry. They're Asian descent. I don't know what exactly, but it's an obvious Asian descent.
See, it's funny you say that, because her brother Tristan, to me, almost could pass Hispanic, but Sabine definitely Asian. Her mom definitely Asian. Her mom definitely more Asian, even more so in the Clone Wars than I feel, because that iteration of her in Clone Wars is different than she is in Rebels. Looks more Asian in Clone Wars. Definitely Asian. Closing thoughts on Sasha Banks.
Like I said, I don't know who she's going to be. I don't have a character specifically in mind that I think she fits. So I'm hoping, with my fingers crossed, that she's just a new character and they're not shoehorning her into something that doesn't fit right.
Yeah, I'd agree. Back to Tatooine. We see Mandalorian on a speeder. Could be another desert planet. It's similar to
They
the
give
city
Tatooine clues though. That
Yeah, there was the bantha with the Tusken Raider on it. Perfect giveaway.
Yeah.
We went to Tatooine in season 1. There's been
And
numerous.
we knew at the end of the episode, forgive me because I can't think
Finnick.
of the girl. Yes, Finnick.
Yes.
Had the boots walk up on her. She's
Yep.
obviously still alive, and somebody's there. So there's business going on Tatooine.
Yeah,
for sure.
We were left in a cliffhanger in season 1, so we have to return.
Yeah.
Is this our link to Boba Fett?
I mean, it seems like that's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
Whether they do that or not, whether it's somebody finds Boba Fett's armor and it's not actually Boba Fett in it, who knows?
That's in a friend of mine, Jason. Shout out Jason. That's all. He eventually alluded to. I hope it's not Boba. I hope it's Boba's armor. And
Like if
I would.
Sarlacc digested its armor or digested the body and spit out the armor because it couldn't digest the armor or something crazy like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Still not opposed to Boba Fett showing up, but if he does, I want it to be small.
Yeah,
This is
if it
the
is-
Mandalorian. This
if it
isn't the
is
Boba
Boba,
Fett show.
I think I've said this from the beginning. I don't want Boba Fett in this show.
Yeah.
But if it is Boba, I mean, as
I
long as they
trust
do it
Dave
right,
Filoni and Favreau.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna try to jump the shark and do something cheesy. I think if they do it, it will be done well based off of everything else in the show. So, giving them the benefit of a doubt until proven otherwise.
Unnamed water planet, Mon Cala, perhaps. We can also see 2 key species that would lead that this is definitely Mon Cala. That being the Quarren and the Mon Calamari themselves. Now, Admiral Akbar, if you do not know the difference, this is a completely water-covered world that is housed to 2 sentient species. One, like Akbar and General Radis from Rogue One, those are Mon Calamari, right? They have kind of the big fish-type head. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The Quarren, however, they are the
Tentacle
squid.
heads. Tentacle face heads.
Yep. We see a Quarren in the very first scene of season 1, episode 1 of The Mandalorian. That's the one that gets cut in half. That is a Quarren. That's also where we see the boat. Definitely thinking that this is Mon Cala. It would be perfect. We've only seen Mon Cala in one Star Wars thing that is no longer canon, and that is the Tarkovsky Clone Wars.
Oh, yes.
That is the only place we have seen it. So I'd be
Speaking
super
of
hyped for that.
Tarkovsky, there's a new Tarkovsky animated movie or series that's on
Yes, please.
Apple. I
Yes,
want to say it's on Apple. I saw the name and I'm like, oh, holy crap! I got to watch this.
I have free Apple Plus for a year because I got a new iPhone, so I need to check that out.
So I don't know if it's good or not, but I saw the name and it grabbed my attention.
New Republic X-Wings we see in the trailer. Now, the reason we know that these are New Republic X-Wings is because the New Republic was already mentioned in Episode 1 of season 1 of Mandalorian.
Like a fledgling beginning, pretty much.
Yes. He basically tells Mando if he doesn't like what he's getting here, he can go try his luck getting a job with the New Republic. Mando says that's a joke. So we know that the New Republic, 5 years after the destruction of the Empire and the second Death Star, is already in talks. That would lead us to believe that, of course, these are New Republic X-Wings. One thing that is cool is these are Red Squadron X-Wings. You can see on the sides. Once again, these pictures are posted on our Facebook page. They have the red stripes on the sides, which indicate these are Red Squadron. This literally could be, I don't know, somebody's X-Wing. Well, Biggs died. Rip Biggs. Anyway, it's not
Wedge.
Luke's. Luke's is could be
Wedge.
Could be
'cause
Wedge.
We know Wedge is all around. He was a massive integral part of the New Republic.
And what if Wedge showed up? Like just in intercom.
That would be. I would love. If
I would
Wedge
love
is,
that.
Like that's the perfect type of
Because-
cameo that.
Yes,
Not a massive legacy character,
Yeah.
but like everybody knows who it is.
and he's already confirmed in the new Squadron game.
Yeah, that would fit awesomely.
Or Hera. This is General Hera Syndulla of the New Republic.
just a voice.
Oh my dude,
Yes.
I'd lose it. That'd be so sick. Snow Planet. In the trailer, we see the snow planet. We have 3 scenes. One, we have the Razor Crest flying down to a snow cavern, a chasm, if you will, a crack, giant Grand Canyon type looking thing. We have Baby Yoda walking in the sand, and then we have Mando walking in what looks like an ice cave carrying Baby Yoda. Now, is this Ilum? We know of very few snow planets that are named in the Star Wars universe. My personal thoughts is it would make sense because
Ilum could fit. Yeah.
Ilum could fit because at this time the First Order is being built in unknown space. That's what a lot of people aren't talking about. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh no, this can't be Starkiller. This is Starkiller base is already a thing. Ilum is gone." There's no canon proof that the First Order is like there. By what we know canon wise, they're still kidnapping kids, doing all that stuff in unknown space. And Ilum also, if you remember, in The Force Awakens, they have to fly under radars for certain parts of the planet because Starkiller Base was built into the planet. It was a moon or a planet, right? So it was very large. It's likely to think that they can't survey or see the whole thing. And if Han and Finn can get under the scope of the First Order, so could Mando. And Mando's Razor Crest, we know from season 1, is on nobody's radars. So nobody could even pick the ship up. It is a ghost. That's the whole point of season 1, episode 6, The Prisoner. That's why they call Mando in to do that job, because they knew that his ship could be undetected. So my personal thought is this could be Ilum, the link between Ilum and the child and the Kyber crystals, him being force sensitive. It could make sense.
The link makes sense for sure, but I'm still going to say what I want is there's too many planets to have to go to the same dozen planets that we've heard.
Yes.
Like, I hope that, Ilum does fit for, like, Mando hunting down these sorcerers, as he's been referred to them as. That's all he knows, that there's some type of space sorcerer. Mm-hmm. That could fit, but I like so much more if it's just some cool planet and there's a whole variety of things that we've never seen before, and they hold fast, because they've done an awesome job at doing that so far. They brought you back to Tatooine for the nostalgia, but everything else was all new planets. So
completely agree. I do hope that this is a new planet. My first instinct is just Ilum.
It does fit.
Yeah,
it does fit because of what his goal is, based off of where the end of season 1 ends.
New planet. Now, this is the scene where Mando is walking up with Baby Yoda. We also see...
This is where you think that he's taller too, right?
No, I'll show you that. No, okay. It's different scene. He's walking up to the city. Yoda's in his egg thing. There's somebody hanging from a light pole. Mando shoots the light pole. There's also a ring where 2 Gamorrean guards are fighting.
Yes.
So is this a new planet?
There's some fit Gamorreans.
And you know what? This is something, and we'll talk about this when we finally see this, whenever this is in season 2. Are the Gamorrean guards fat at Jabba's palace because they did nothing at Jabba's palace?
It makes sense now,
right?
Like living like a super,
like a luxurious life almost.
Yeah, like a slob level, because they're always like drooling and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if it's like a slob, like these are like trash Gamorreans.
And Gamorreans are sentient, so there's no reason to believe that there couldn't be a Gamorrean Jedi. You know, these guys are obvious fighters. And did you notice their axes, when they collided, they made
sparked?
They made a sound wave, like they were like they were charged weapons, almost like a vibro
axes or something.
Dude,
yeah.
That'd be sick. Jon Favreau also hinted to this about the Gamorrean Guard specifically in his Twitter. They posted a 3D diorama of these new Gamorrean Guards, this new look that they had. So we knew that was coming. It also reminded me of the Han Solo scene from the Solo movie where he goes to meet Lando for the first time and they're having the droids fight.
Yes.
Super similar in my opinion. The last tidbit of information is we also see a Abyssian. Now, the Abyssian is the Cyclops-looking creature that Mando is talking
it
to.
took me for a second. I had to think. I was like, who that is?
Who the Abyssian?
Who that is?
We first see an Abyssian actually in A New Hope.
Yeah, that's in the original Cantina.
In the original Cantina scene. Is he a new villain? Is this a tie to a syndicate group, maybe?
Got a question about him.
Okay.
Was he practical effects or was he CG? Because I felt
Practical.
like he was CG.
Practical.
The way everything when he was talking, like I don't know, it looked different than before.
I'll have to we'll watch it on the big TV.
Because,
After
that'd
this.
be a big change if it was.
They did Quill practical, so why wouldn't they do him practical?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Something looked different in him when he was like it's flashes to that kind of that quick conversation situation that they
Yeah.
have. It looked more. I don't know. It looked more CG than I expected.
Still like it. I like that we're seeing different takes on alien species. We're seeing a thin Gamorrean. This doesn't look anything like the Abyssian that we saw in 77. We're seeing these aliens.
Diversity among
Exactly.
aliens.
Yeah. It's super cool to see somebody else's take, but right now we're doing the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where we're like, oh, and we're like, we know what it is,
Yes.
but it's different.
Yeah, I like that.
So that wraps up my breakdown for the trailer. We had a couple of more talking points. Time jump. I personally believe, solely based on this trailer, and I'll tell you why. When Mando is walking up to Navarro, if you remember at the end of season 1, the way that we leave everybody is Mando, Greef, and Kara think that they've defeated Moff Gideon. They're having a conversation. Mando...
TIE fighter crashes.
TIE fighter crashes. Greef is begging Mando to stay. He also begs Kara to stay. Kara agrees to stay to form this new bounty hunters guild. Mando does not stay. He buries Quill in the rubble and he flies away. That's how it ends. Now, in the trailer, it's obvious that we've returned to Navarro. They have different get-ups, which we kind of made jokes on our
Clothing
last
change
episode.
means it has to be at least some jump in time.
Yes, but more importantly, Greef's beard is now completely gray. So unless my man was using, Head and Shoulders and After Effects for men and coloring his beard, I don't think that's done on purpose.
I did not catch the beard thing.
Yes, his beard is now completely snow. I'm not talking salt and pepper. It is completely
White.
gray.
He's
Yeah.
wizened.
So that's I personally believe there's a time jump. What the time jump is, it could be 6 months, it could be a year. Who knows? If it is a year, that would be a little bit alarming to me because they made such a precedence of the amount of hunters that were coming after Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
I would
especially
imagine that would continue.
The whole Mandalorian, when the whole covert came to help him, there was all of these bounty hunters all pursuing him. The guild didn't seem like it was tiny.
tracking fobs? All of them.
Yeah, it didn't.
Right.
It didn't seem like the bounty hunters guild was like 12 guys and that was it.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was at least in that like cluster of the galaxy, like it was multi-planet. It didn't seem like it was isolated down to that one.
We kind of talked about who Sasha Banks' character could be. I don't think we need to speculate too much on that. As far as we do speculate, but we don't want to get our hopes up.
Well, we'll save most of our speculation for that.
The season one
season
recap.
one a year later.
Yeah.
And then I say that we kind of give all of our speculations, and I have some ideas for some prop bets.
Okay. Well, then what we'll do is we'll just go straight into news then, because the rest of the stuff was more like predictions, and we can save that stuff. So
this is kind of going along with your news. I was reading as I was waiting for you to get home. There's a new rumor from Doomcock about Pedro Pascal.
how long has this been going on? Like 2 weeks? Or a week since the trailer came out?
Yeah, like a little over a week. Maybe a week and a half.
Okay.
There is multiple reports of Pedro Pascal not physically playing the Mandalorian past season 2. So season 2, he's still, which we already knew and we've already discussed.
Which news, by the way, confirmed seasons 3 and 4.
Shout
Confirmed.
out.
Yep.
But we've already discussed that. We already learned that John Wayne's son was one of the stunt doubles.
Grandson or son?
Grandson or son?
Grandson.
Grandson, it must
Yep.
be. That's timeline doesn't add up, so it must be grandson.
Yeah,
And then there's another, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was actually a black guy. That was the other stunt double for...
And both had the black guy in particular, I think, and I can't remember his name. Well, we can't remember John Wayne's grandson name either. But the black guy had specific. He came from a gun background.
Yeah, he was the kind of the military.
Yeah, exactly.
Knew how to handle weaponry and stuff. And I'm guessing that John.
Yeah, he was the weapons expert for like all the fighting scenes.
Yeah. That
were like, I think it was specifically season 2, episode 1, the Trandoshan scene where he's fighting the Trandoshians.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
So we already knew that Pascal was not full-time the Mandalorian, or the man behind the armor, let's say. But apparently there's been multiple sources and reports of rumors that there is some beef happening. I remember that I saw the first story probably about a week ago, but now it's been confirmed by Doomcock, who we know the guy
has been pretty credible.
He's not been wrong yet.
Yeah.
He said from his sources it's 100% true. Basically, what happened is Pedro Pascal is started to get a little butthurt, let's say, that he's hidden behind the mask. You don't get to see him. Kara gets screen time. Chubbs gets screen time. The baby that's a puppet gets screen time.
I wonder how much money he's getting paid.
Yeah, you would think.
And I wonder how much royalties he's making from Game of Thrones.
But apparently he started making trouble. He stopped showing up on time. He kind of just had a sour attitude and would rip his helmet off in the middle of a scene. And at some point, he went to George Lucas himself while George was visiting the set and had a conversation with him asking about, hey, I need some time out of the helmet. This is my character. I'm playing him. My face needs to be attached to this character. And everybody basically told him, no, like, this is the way.
Let me interject right there.
Yeah.
Is not the fact that we know it's Pedro, we hear his voice, and that we only get one scene with him with his helmet off
make it. Yeah.
And I remember specifically season 1, episode 4, Sanctuary is one of my favorite episodes in season 1. And there's the scene where we call her Pocahontas.
Yeah, almost takes it off, and you're like, ugh!
She almost takes it off, but before that, remember, she's asking him how long it's been since he's taken the helmet off, and he says since he was about their age, and he's out pointing to the kids. They're like 8, 10.
They're overlooking the kids playing.
And she gives him food, and she respectfully leaves so that he can take off his helmet. And that's the first time that we saw him actually, quote, take off his helmet, because he takes off and he sets it on the windowsill.
Yeah.
We know it's Pedro. The average viewer doesn't know John Wayne's grandson, the other guy. Like, they don't. So I can understand where he's coming from, because I think of the guy, the original, and his name is escaping me, the original guy who was in the Darth Vader suit.
Oh, yeah.
Sebastian something?
That sounds correct. That name sounds...
Yeah, it is Sebastian something. He thought that this was going to be a groundbreaking role for him in Hollywood, and come to find out, they didn't even use his voice.
Because he voiced it originally, and then they went back over with James Earl Jones.
Exactly. But anyway, if this is true, it's Hollywood. This is a moneymaker at the end of the day. Me personally, and then I want you to give your 2 cents too, is regardless as to what happens, whether Pedro is never in the suit again, whether we never see his face again, if he continues to voice act the character, does it make a difference? I don't really know. I would like to see him without his helmet again. Do we have these type of scenes where he is
bloodied and beat up and pulls the helmet off in the last episode?
Well, I could also see, what if, like, he has the vac tube, right? The bathroom. What if we had a moment where Mando's having a panic attack and he goes into the bathroom, shuts the door in the Razor Crest, and takes off his helmet? You know what I mean?
Collects himself type of a thing.
I could see that, but it's like, dude, did you know what you were signing up for? Like, they wanted you to be the Mandalorian. You are the Mandalorian. Yeah.
Everybody associates you with him, whether they see your face or not.
Yeah.
But apparently what happened is, like I was saying, he went to Lucas, and still everybody's like, no, man, like that's not the character. The character, like this is the way. That's literally all over the internet. The internet knows, like, this is the way. You don't take your helmet off.
Yeah.
And they basically told him to get off set, because I guess he started being a little problematic with it and throwing a little bit of temper tantrums. This is all hearsay at this point, but it's credible sources that have been proven that they get accurate information before.
Yeah.
But apparently it's all been resolved. But what has been resolved is Pedro for seasons 3 and 4 is strictly voice acting. It made him happy because now he has more time.
Freedom.
He can do other projects. He doesn't have to be on set. He doesn't have to be in all the production meetings. He doesn't have... Well, it probably has to be in some. But he doesn't have to be in all the shooting. He doesn't have to do all the stunts. He doesn't have to learn like what he has to do. All he has to do now is go into a studio, read the script.
Which, now that you put it that way, I get it. He is an actor. Hollywood has picked back up. Certain things are starting again. I get it.
So, I mean, to me, it's a little disappointing to hear that, because I mean, I was so all about Pedro Pascal and his performance and the way he portrayed himself at all the fan events. Like, he was so hyped to be the character. Like, he wasn't like a passive like John Boyega who's like, yeah, I'm in Star Wars. Yeah, I don't even like it. Blah blah blah. Like talking crap. Pedro was like super hyped to be the Mandalorian and everything that was going on about it. So I'm a little bummed.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like John Boyega was super hyped, and then because of everything that happened, it kind of jaded him. So do you think the same thing happens?
Like, it finishes like, no, I'll never play this character again. So like, I mean,
yeah, he did say he
had
never
a sour
wanted to be in
attitude.
Star Wars again.
I mean, and he's not the only person. Like Harrison Ford got sick and tired of Han Solo.
True,
too.
he wanted him dead in Empire.
So I mean, take it with a grain of salt, at least on that part.
Yeah.
But Pedro seems so excited to be part of the Star Wars universe, so it's a little
even in the gallery.
Even in the interviews, he was so hyped about everything.
Well, you know, I definitely hope that I'm sure that some of this is true. This doesn't just get made up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So much of this show is kept secret. For something like this to come out, there has to be some validity to it.
Yeah.
But
if they came into an agreement and it's working for seasons 3 and 4, and he doesn't have to be there, then I guess it's good. It's happy now. So, but
let's do.
That was this week that all came out.
Excuse me, got some hiccups. Let's do lightning round for this news.
Okay.
All right. Number one, this is like crazy. I still do not believe this amount of money. Xbox buys Bethesda Gaming.
Good God.
For $7.5 billion.
Also, this bourbon is delicious.
I'm glad you like it.
Dude, the legs on it, like, if you
the
look at
legs are ridiculous.
The legs are amazing.
You know what? I need to give it another try. Like you said, maybe when I tried it that day, like you were with the Proper 12,
yes.
I need to try it again. Xbox, essentially, before next gens are even available, buys Bethesda. This is huge because there are 7 sister companies. 5 of the 7 are AAA video game makers.
Yeah.
Huge deal. This has got to make some waves in the Sony community.
They bought the parent company of Bethesda.
That's what it is. Yeah, Bethesda was one of the AAA.
I can't remember what the name of them off the top of my head. If I would have prepared for this episode, I would have looked it up.
The Wanda and Vision trailer dropped.
Yeah.
Super excited. But it's still delayed.
I am mixed feelings on that trailer, honestly.
She is... I kid you not. I had no idea when I found out her name, that her last name was Olsen. I was like...
You didn't know that was the younger sister of the Olsen twins this whole time?
You mean the older sister?
I thought she was the younger.
Older.
Are you sure?
No.
That doesn't even add up.
She's the older sister. Have you seen the 2 twins? She looks way better than the twins.
Yeah, because they got like... they had eating disorders and were messed up from fame and stuff. She's a younger sister.
Look, bro, I'm not their psychiatrist, but...
Okay,
we're looking this up. We're on a live show, so I'm on my phone.
The Olsen twins have to be in their mid-30s, early to mid-30s. Wanda girl is like in her 20s for sure. Late 20s, I would guess. Ding, ding, ding.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna
keep looking it up. I can fill in.
No, it's fine.
In other news, I decided not to officially buy any of the new generation consoles.
I haven't pre-ordered anything either. And that was my next bit, is pre-orders for next-gen consoles are out.
I passed.
Sony jacked it up.
I did buy a PC.
Does Liz know?
Yes.
She doesn't listen to this podcast anyway.
She knows.
Oh, she does?
I portrayed it as like it will help her for Zoom meetings at work.
Perfect. Does it come with a webcam? No.
Nope.
Yeah, so you got a PC. I'm also about to do a PC build. Especially with the Xbox does seem the better of the deal.
Of the two, yes.
Definitely. But there still is not... I do so much more with my computers even now. Like with this. Mm-hmm. There's so much more that I need my computer for now than ever. And it's not that my computer is super outdated. I just can't run newer games if I wanted to, like Warzone. But anyway, I do want to build another PC.
PlayStation, the biggest thing that disappointed me is they like totally backed out of the backwards compatibility.
Xbox kind of did too. It's like 1 week it was like
no,
everything
Xbox
we
has it.
Well, some anyway, some games.
But then also like
why don't they just say, guys, it's not that it doesn't work. This is licensing stuff.
Yeah.
Cuz that's what it is.
And the other thing too is part of the problem with both of these new gen systems, which is the first time we've ever had this issue, is there's no games.
Yeah.
There's no games that are bringing you in to wanting to buy these systems. With Xbox, we've normally always had an awesome new Forza that for sure shows off all the graphic capabilities. You wonder if it's real. You get a new Halo. Every system has had a new Halo. There's been other stuff that's launched with it. PlayStation, the same thing. There's like an Uncharted or there's something like that. There's nothing. Yeah. The only thing that it had at launch that was going to be amazing was the Spider-Man game, and now the Spider-Man game, which has gone back and forth between being DLC and a new whole game, ends up it's like a game of the year version of Spider-Man, and then it comes with the whole new Miles Morales, which is in a
whole league
overhyped.
Not overhyped. You think it's overhyped?
Not overhyped. It's a basically DLC content that's just a built-up DLC content. It's not a whole new game. Yeah. But it's also coming for PS4. So I have no reason to buy it. I can play it on PS4. The differences between PS5 and PS4 for that Spider-Man game are not going to be enough to sell me on a system.
No, definitely not. Sony also messed up their pre-orders. I didn't look into the article to get the exact details. Basically, people who pre-ordered it, instead of like putting the $100 or the $50 down, they got charged the full amount.
Well, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, so they got charged the full amount for the system.
Like it authorizes. Like a lot of them will authorize your card for that much.
Yep.
Dude, funny story.
It gets worse.
Okay, I got a funny story when you're done.
Their tentative shipping dates are not date of arrival. They're after the system comes out. So say the system was slated to come out 12/1.
So it's not you get it on day one.
Exactly. That's a huge problem.
So this is a funny story kind of going along with that same news story. When Xbox One was launching, I pre-ordered my Xbox One from Microsoft directly. Yeah. Because I didn't want to deal with fighting GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, Target, all those type of the retailers and their ridiculous rigmarole that they'll put you through. So I'm like, I'm going straight to the source. I pre-ordered it in, 2013. If I remember right, 2013 is when the Xbox One launched. Launch console.
2013?
Yeah. So I pre-ordered it. Anyway. I pre-ordered it like, I want to say 3-6 months beforehand. I can't remember whatever the window was for that. They authorize your card for the whole, it was like $550 something. Yeah. I see it come out of my bank account. I'm like, sweet. System is paid for. Done. Go about my business. Never check it. It comes in November when the system's launching. Yeah. They authorize it, and then they put the money back in the account. I never caught that. So November comes. It launches.
Maybe that's what's happening now, and people are just freaking out.
It launches, and I think that the system is paid for.
Yeah.
So, like, Liz, I'm like, new system's coming out.
We got all this money. We got all this money.
Sent me negative.
Of course.
Overdraft.
Of course.
I'm like, oh, I swear I paid for it.
Yeah.
Dude, it was the biggest fight ever. She's like, you just pre-ordered the system for $500 and something. It's like, you told me it was paid for, and now it just hit the bank account and sent us overdraft. And
Travis!
I'm like, dude, she was so pissed. I had no leg to stand on. I'm like, I saw it come out of the bank account. I swear.
It was gone. What,
I still unboxed that system and was giddy playing it. But
Mando Mondays. So starting in October, every Monday we're getting new Mando information leading up, which is Hasbro Pulse releases. Our first round of Mando Monday was we got all the Mando games. There's a Mando Sorry, Mando Monopoly. We got all these Mando themed things coming out.
some amazing Black Series, which
Some amazing pop figures.
I managed to get some of the Black Series.
Dude, the car. Okay. If they would stop with the Black Series boxes and do all card boxes,
the vintage carded.
I would collect 100% again.
I
really would.
Well, I have every single one of. They've released the Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary carded ones that look retro.
Do you have the one with Luke and Yoda?
Yes.
Okay. I know where there are some. That's why I was asking.
So they came out. What is awesome for the Mandalorian is they're brand new, but they're done to like look vintage, and the coloring is more saturated, overly saturated and cartoonish.
Yeah.
And I managed to get, they were all exclusives for specific retailers, which is what really sucked.
Ooh, okay.
They were 2 Amazon exclusives, which was Mando and the Death Trooper.
Okay.
I got both of those, thankfully.
Yeah.
Then there was a Best Buy exclusive.
I think Kara looked the best. Her card art is so
Cara's
sick.
amazing, and that's the one I didn't get. Then there was the Heavy Trooper, which was a Best Buy exclusive.
Is that the same Heavy Trooper that was in the Black Series before?
It is, but they're all repainted on these oversaturated.
The repaints always look better.
It's like a crazy, like, instead of it being like a muted orange,
it's like pastel
it's
almost.
Like bright orange on all the colors. And then Target, which is the worst retailer to buy from online, had Cara Dune, who sold out in literally less than a minute from all the bots that were buying them up. And almost nobody on all the collector sites and groups on Facebook managed to get one. Nobody. And Kara's just gone. So she's going to be the one. If you find it, buy it.
The last bit, we had some other news, but I'm just going to wrap it up with this one. This one I'm actually super excited about, and I've only gotten to go to one Target, but there's 2 parts to this news. Batu merch.
Yes.
This is obviously a money play from Disney, which I totally get. Batu merch has now come out of Batu in Disneyland and in Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida. Disney Springs in California got their own Star Wars trading post type deal.
We have an outpost at our Disney Springs, yep.
And we already had one. Now they've moved not all, but most of the Batu merch to the Disney Springs Star Wars trading post.
It makes sense because they paid a lot of money for that special.
They've got merch just sitting.
Yeah. And there's stuff you can get a Batu that you can't get anywhere else.
There's still stuff like, and I just told Natasha, I was like, next time you schedule to go to Hollywood.
I almost said MGM.
Yeah, I do it all the time. That with me going was thinking, I'm like 50%.
Don't say MGM.
Yeah. I want the chess set, the hollow chess set, which you still cannot get outside of the park. But anyway, Target has their own line of books now. Dude, I sent you and Chris from FOMOcast. Shout out FOMOcast. Some old Republic type stuff, man. Yeah. They're Tales of Galaxy's Edge type stuff, and there's one that's really, really old. Anyway, it's super cool. So
shout out to what he's called. What is he carrying?
Dude, my dude had it, and it looks like Chris Pine.
It did look like Chris Pine.
It looks like Chris Pine, and my dude has a shield and a lightsaber.
I need to know that technology.
Beskar, I don't even know.
How do they lose that tech if they have shields for lightsabers?
The fighting style, I don't know. That's a discussion for another podcast that does analyzations on like lightsaber fighting styles.
It's very cool. They got like some just simple stuff like just cool coffee mugs, books. They have kids' toys. They had some of the Galaxy's Edge had Black Series that came in 3 and 4 packs that were exclusive figures you could only buy there.
Yeah.
And what they did is they released those in individual figures that you can now buy at the at Targets, which sold out everywhere, and nobody can get them. But man, it's a genius idea because they have all this merch just sitting there.
Yeah.
This is an awesome way to repurpose it and sell it and make some money while the parks are dwindling.
Really quickly before we wrap up this episode, thank you everybody who tunes in weekly. It does make a big difference. Me and Justin, we put a lot of time and a lot of effort and we made a how we did a podcast episode. But anybody who is doing content creation, anybody who is doing their own, I don't want to say side hustle, because
Passion project.
Like Niles is doing Kill Key Factory, Russell is doing Vader Sabers. It does not have to be Star Wars, guys. Anybody who is in our group that listens to this podcast that is doing any sort of content creation, Liz was doing her workout videos, whatever the case may be, liking and sharing is free.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of work that goes into these things.
Reviews are what sends a podcast up the algorithm.
And my point in saying this is send us what you're doing, and we will share it. Yeah, we have a very small community, but that community is engaged. They post on the regular, and for the most part, our community, we all know each other, right? So however you found us, whether it be Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you found us through Facebook, you know me or Justin personally.
Shout out to Amazon Music, who we are officially on hopefully soon.
Yes, we sent in for approval for that. Any of that stuff, send us what you're doing. We'll be more than happy to share it. Hopefully, this first audio version, there already are some things that I noticed. Like, unfortunately, Justin, your camera froze earlier because that phone was dying. It said 20%. I don't even know how that happened because it is plugged up.
It's plugged in.
And the other weird thing is this phone is slower. I don't know.
There's a delay.
Yeah, there's a delay. The webcam is faster than the phones, which is weird. We're working this out, guys. Yeah, we're figuring it out. Like we said,
there was a little bit of technical difficulties that we're dialing in. Our goal is to have it
dialed,
crisp and clean, 100% for episode 1 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Hopefully live streaming it so that everybody can watch it live with us.
Oh yeah, we can do like a after the.
Yeah.
What do we call it? The Mandos of the Round Table.
I like it.
Anyway,
what did what's his name call all those after? Oh, Talking Dead, Talking Mando,
Talking Dead, Talking Thrones. There's a lot of live shows.
We do like the Talking Mando or something after.
Well, guys,
that'd be fun.
I was your boy. It's KonKon coming at you with some video. Hopefully, we find some new group on YouTube.
What?
That enjoys watching us.
Oh,
reaching out to a new group of people. Hopefully while you're at work in your cubicle or even working from home, this podcast has helped you pass the time. And right now, as you haven't or have be able to tell, we are doing every other week simply because it's helping us with life balance right now. Like I said, a lot of time goes into this, so we made the decision a couple of weeks ago to go every other week until Mando starts. When Mando starts, we will be going weekly.
And it's giving us time to spend time on these tech issues.
Yeah.
Because we have full-time jobs and full-time families and the podcast on top of it. So we're doing it every other week. That gives us a week off that we can spend time digging into what we need to dial in this for the new streaming and video and all these features that we need.
Well, guys, once again, please rate and review this podcast if you ever so desire. 5 stars, please. That is what helps drive the podcast to other people so other people can discover us, and we very much appreciate your listens. We're going to hit you with some outro music, and we will be back next time.
Bye! And don't forget our Patreon.
Yes, Patreon. Oh, I thought that was my White Claw. Patreon is coming. Patreon is not necessary, though, but it is coming. So if you see it and you do become a patron, we love you. And we'll see you next time.
Subscribe. Give us your money.